Well, a lot of Jamaicans have been talking about what happened on Trafalgar Road in the vicinity of Abbey Court and the Y in New Kingston yesterday afternoon, shortly after midday. Several things flowed from what happened yesterday when the Jamaica Constabulary Force, in a newfound approach and response to criminality, took on three gunmen who had minutes before killed a so-called businessman and robbed him on Old Hope Road in the vicinity of Downer Avenue. And what transpired after they killed Robert Fletcher really stunned motorists on Trafalgar Road, sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic, and what we have learned and continue to learn subsequent to the gun battle. Yeah? This morning, the Commissioner of Police, Major General Anthony Anderson, spoke with Daniel Archer and Abka Fitzhenley and Nationwide and provided some more information. But we are also learning more information, yeah, that I don't know if we'll get the full story as to who the so-called businessman Robert Fletcher was and how or what motivated his killing. But let us go back to what transpired on Trafalgar Road shortly after midday yesterday with our reporter Ricardo Brooks.
Sounds that pierced the afternoon hum of lunch hour traffic sometime after midday. Anxious motorists were pinned down in bumper-to-bumper traffic for more than 5 minutes as lawmen confronted the gangsters traveling in a white Toyota Axio motorcar. The men who reportedly ambushed and murdered a businessman on Old Hope Road were being pursued by members of the Constabulary's Metropolitan Quick Response Team. Head of the JCF's Corporate Communications Unit, SSP Stephanie Lindsay, provided more details.
Today, a group of men driving a white Axio went to a business place on Hope Road where they shot and robbed the owner of the business. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Once the police got the report, they went in pursuit of these individuals, and with the help of the Jamaica High cameras, they made contact with the men in the vicinity of Hope Road, where a shootout ensued. The men fired at the police, and during the process, a police service vehicle was damaged, and at the end of the shooting, 2 of the 3 men were found with gunshots.
When it was over, 2 of the gunmen were dead. A third is now in police custody. The third, who fled the scene in another motorcar, was later captured by the police. 3 firearms were seized, one of which is believed to be that of the murdered businessman. The constabulary has not yet confirmed the identity of the businessman who was killed. SSP Lindsay is commending the response team involved in what is being described as a dangerous operation.
But we have to commend the quick response of the police that were actually in the area, coupled with the technology that they were able to apprehend these persons within minutes of committing this robbery and murder.
The Constabulary's Metropolitan Response Team was recently formed to enable the police to respond quickly to incidents of criminality in the corporate area. Investigations are ongoing as to whether the businessman was targeted for his licensed firearm or a sum of money he was reportedly carrying at the time of his murder. Ricardo Brooks for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Ricardo. Well, after that report and comment from SSP Lindsay, this morning, Commissioner Anderson told the country that one of the men, yes, one of the three men, is still at large. Somehow, he was able to escape from the scene of the gunfight, and the police are now trying to track him. How did he escape the scene? Yes? Did he commandeer a vehicle? Yes? And ordered the motorist trapped on the scene to get him out of there? And if there's that motorist out there, please tell the police what you know. Yeah? Then there are questions about one of the two that were eventually killed. He was seen in handcuffs, and we're now learning that he succumbed to his injuries. Yes? This is what the commissioner told Abka and Daniel this morning.
So, two of the gunmen were killed yesterday. One escaped. So that's what happened. One of them escaped, and we believe he escaped injured, and we have been looking for him. The third one.
Okay, so it's not accurate to say one is in custody?
No.
No.
Unless that has happened very recently. No, we were up to yesterday. We were looking for the third one.
The other issue being raised, of course, is the police response yesterday. I see where some people are questioning the response of the police. And
I think.
hold on. And I think, based on the video that is now viral, what did we expect the police to do? Notwithstanding the bumper-to-bumper traffic there, these criminals who had no compunction in killing people, yeah, they had no compunction in killing, pumping bullets into Robert Fletcher's body, yes, and cornered. They didn't choose to come out with their hands in the air. They opened fire. What do we expect of the police? To take cover or to protect their own lives? Come on, man, we have to get real. This is no ordinary space where criminals are concerned, and their capacity and willingness to confront members of the police force. Yes, if I were in that situation, I would be frightened as hell. Yeah? But that can't be enough of a reason to say the police should not respond. Huh? And at the end of the day, not one member of the public, including those motorists trapped in bumper-to-bumper traffic, not one was injured or hurt. A vehicle may have been damaged, but two of the gunmen are dead. Two of the killers are dead. We've gotten rid of two. Yes. And not one member of the public was injured. The police ought to be commended for how they responded. Yes? And at the end of the day, not one member of the public was injured or hurt. Yes, probably hurt psychologically. Yeah? But we have to get real. These criminals, we got to understand who we're up against. I want to go a little bit further. Something positive is happening with the constabulary force in terms of their response to incidents of crime. Something positive is happening. Their use of technology and science is obviously improving. Obviously improving. It's not only about the cameras in Jamaica Eye. I think the commissioner explained it very well this morning. Yes? That the members of his so-called quick response team engaged the men tactically and minimized harm to civilians trapped at the scene.
And I think that the team acted bravely. I had an opportunity to review some of the video footage that covered that event and their movement and tactics as they moved towards that vehicle and how they position themselves has perhaps a lot to do with the outcome that we saw.
There was a combo punch, so to speak, of the use of Jamaica Eye and the quick response team.
Right.
Your assessment of that, is that foreshadowing better to come from the Jamaica Constabulary Force with the use of both initiatives?
Well, remember, I'd spoken about this, I think, last year, that we'll be putting in a QR team in Kingston and St. Andrew. We did it in Montego Bay, St. James. It's been very effective down there. And we're already seeing the effect of it here. I think we launched last month. And that's a centralized team that covers all of Kingston and St. Andrew. It's still a work in progress. We're building out even more because of the traffic situation in Kingston. We need a strong bike-based team that can respond even in heavy traffic. Team yesterday is part of that network, but that part of the team is based at Matilda's Corner.
Oh, is it that these members of the QRT undergo specialized additional training? What's
yes,
the sense?
Yes, they undergo training, obviously, in the use of their motorcycle, but also how to dismount and how to approach a hostile situation. They are also trained in basically to level 2 in terms of tactics, level 2 policing, which is what some of our specialized operations officers get as well.
And
that's really to respond to high violence situations.
And, you know, Commissioner Anderson there talking with Daniel Archer and Abka Fitzhenley. I suspect we're going to have more of these scenes as the police improve their capacity to respond speedily, yeah, and with precision in terms of identifying the vehicles, the getaway vehicles. One of the realities that we now have to come to terms with as Jamaicans, that there are going to be more such confrontations on our streets, on our public thoroughfares. Because until the criminals realize that don't, your chances of being caught are now much greater because of the technology and the science and the other improved capacity that they are deploying. We are going to have more such confrontations. And I asked SSP Lindsay yesterday, yeah, what is the best practice to do if you're caught in such a situation as scores of motorists were caught yesterday afternoon on Trafalgar Road? And she said, stay in your vehicle. Yeah, put your head down. Yeah, don't try to get out of the vehicle and run. You can't run faster than a bullet. In addition, don't try to get out of there because you don't know the next way you're going to turn in a crossfire. That is the reality. And I suspect that is going to be with us for the foreseeable future as the police are better able. Yeah? Remember, we're coming from a have killed Fletcher yesterday. Yeah? and casually drove on Trafalgar Road in the traffic, sit there like the rest of us as if nothing has happened, and the police would be behind them and don't know that they are the ones who just committed a murder. Now that is going to change. And our reality is we have to go brace ourselves for it. In other words, yeah, we're going to have more of those until the criminals realize that, you know what, don't bother with it.